idiot.
What up?
Now look at my place. Look at my, look at my, look at my. Now look at my place. Look
You guys ready for a hit?
Now look at my place. Look at my. Now look at my place. Look at my. Now look at my place. Look at my.
LA changed us.
I feel like the Skids and Letterkenny. Like, this is what they need.
Now look at my place. Look at my. Now look at my place. Look at my.
We hope that you are ready for this episode. What is up, everyone? What is going on?
that was a lot. Oh, wow. Okay, stop, Hank Hill.
We are
Okay.
DJs also now, so watch out.
Yeah, we went to LA and
LA.
started our electronic dance music career.
Also became ASMR content creators, and our validity was sealed of approval with paparazzi shots.
Outside of Craig's.
And that's not a lie.
That is not lying. We,
Your girls got popped and not at the doctor.
we got papped.
Every time we were saying that out there, I just kept thinking of like the
The duck lips going in there.
Stop. We're now a women's podcast. Anyways,
You're listening to volume
131.
131 of the Strange Brews podcast. I am Charisse Letson.
I'm Kate Silly Milberry.
And before we get into the shenanigans that we got up to on the West Coast in LA,
Whew.
we'd like
What
to
a time that was.
It was still recovering.
We have to give a big shout out to all y'all who helped, make this show what it is. We love our producers. We couldn't do it without you. We even have a couple new ones. So we want to give a quick shout out to
Matthew Letson, a.k.a. Cousin Matthew.
We love you. Michael Hawkins.
Colin Walshoots.
James Mullinger.
Corey McGill of McGill's. We love you.
Chuck Healy. Hope we be doing trivia soon.
Exactly. We need to make a comeback.
We do. I saw Pam today and I said we need to hang out.
We gotta
Even
get
if
the
it's
band back
Decanes
together.
or whatever it is, we'll hang out, okay?
Yeah. Mary Roach, miss you, girl. Love you too.
Glenn Hicks.
View Station. Shout out to U Station.
Yeah, we love
Best
U
co-working
Station.
space on the East Coast.
We love you.
Brent Harris of the St. John Tool Library.
Brennan Parker.
Jennifer Irving.
Thank you so much. Greg Hemmings and family, we really appreciate your pledge this month.
And one of our newest patrons, John Adam Ian.
Woo, we love you.
so
And
much.
I'm just going to say it. John, he became another $50 patron. Excuse me.
Thank you so much, dude. I don't think I've
Sorry,
met John yet.
it's not anonymous. We're woo about it. So, I mean, that's almost a month of our expenses.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Holler at you.
We're
Thank
sending
you
you-
so much.
We're sending you some goodies.
You wait till you see the package we're sending you. That's what she said. And this one is insane.
I can't believe we're about to read the name of this next patron.
And Therese and I learned a lot because we realized that we don't need to maybe drive people, if they want to support our show, they will find ways to support our show. So we met a really phenomenal person that we both knew, beforehand, never would have expected to meet. But we did while on the Rock Tour and checked our email a couple days ago and she became a producer. So that was really full circle for us. So major shout out to Dee Dee Keel. Thank you so much. Seriously. We appreciate it so much.
It was so unreal. When I, so for those of you who are not familiar with Dee Dee Keel, she is an icon in her own right.
I'll put her picture up here.
Yes, we'll put it in. If you're listening to audio, you're gonna have to Google.
Go down a Dee Dee rabbit hole. You'll thank us.
And also, or read Pamela Des Barres' book, Let's Spend the Night Together. She has her own chapter. But yeah, we get in the van after almost missing it for the Pamela Des Barres Rock Tour.
Oh my God. Yes, I forgot about that.
And, we're all introducing ourselves.
So picture it. It's Los Angeles. It's Oscar Day.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the Sunset Strip. We're on our way there. We're early. We're thriving. We've been in LA for a few days.
Wrong iconic intersection.
It's okay though, right?
It's okay. We ran
it's
down.
Fun. Charisse and we found out that we are not marathon runners, but if need be,
we can run
to
save our lives and to see Pamela Des Barres.
And of course, her and Kip and the crew were there. We're only a few minutes late, but
thank you for waiting. So
very iconic. I think I wouldn't be surprised. You know how people are on TikTok sometimes and they see people dancing onto the street and they catch them. People were probably wondering we robbed a bank or what happened because we were probably just I'm remembering this now as this is coming back. But I was 210 meters to go.
We gotta go. And I'm I cannot miss
65 meters.
Oh my God,
that is so funny. I totally forgot about
that. We ran down Vine.
Well, I remember that. I forgot about being so. I think it was like an adrenaline thing,
right?
Yeah, it was just like 210 meters to go.
It was amazing. I was in booties, and it was something. So, anyways, we get there. We get in the van. Miss Pamela opens the van door, and I'm like, oh my God, like the fairy godmother that came to rescue us before we turned into pumpkins.
Yeah.
And we were introduced to, everyone was introducing themselves, and you were sitting in the back.
I was.
And one of the first women to introduce herself was Dee Keel, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's two icons in this van right now with us, and
she had her friend Janine along, who
awesome.
We've become pals, so like that's been kind of fun, and getting to know each other. And they just spent a week in San Francisco after going to LA. So
that's so cool. And
like, the people that you get to meet on each one of those tours, I'm sure become like friends and stuff like that, which is kind of what we always wanted with Strange Grooves, is we wanted the ability to have people connect through music, through conversation, and through our show. But then if it allowed them to go and work together in any capacity, that's really the awesomest return for us.
Yeah, and just thank you so much, Dee Dee, if you're listening. I hope you are.
Yes, we definitely
You're a
hope
producer
you are.
now. Thank you so much. It was so great to meet you, and we can't wait to have you on the show soon.
Can't wait
to get together again.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was a big aha moment for Sharice and I to really be out there, and had, we'll just take it back for a second. Like, we were very cryptic about where we were going.
And no one guessed.
We called it Insane in the Brain, and a lot of people reached out to me personally. I don't know about you, but they were like, "Are you good? How are things?" I listened to the last episode, all good, and it was like, yeah, but like we were kind of cryptic in it, right? So going out to California together was very like it solidified where we're at with the show, where we're going. And that's why we're always so thankful to the producers of the show, the people who listen, the people who are watching, who share our content, like with other family members and friends. Like, we really do appreciate it, because it definitely made an impact being out there and having, some of the data and like some of the things that we could say we've done, which is great. But, we get out there and it's just like, such a, Sharice seen palm trees for the first time.
I was like, what the hell are these?
Yeah.
Like, I only dreamed of palm trees, seeing them on TV. And I'm like, oh, wow, they just grow out of the ground in people's yards. Like, we get like pine trees here.
And we had, to go back, like we had like a really like great time everywhere that we visited. But it felt like we were there 2 weeks.
But we were only there 5 days.
Yeah.
And not even like kind of
4 really.
4 really. And it, we fit a lot in. Shout out to the Hotel Irwin. If you're ever going to go to Venice Beach,
please
stay
give
at
them
the
a
Hotel
shout.
Irwin.
Yeah, they're great.
So thank you for the warm welcome, the amazing service.
The welcome cocktails that can also there are virgin cocktails as well.
Yes.
So if you don't drink, like your gal Kate, I was like, are you sure there's no liquor in this?
Yeah, no. And then I tested to make sure, and we were good. I'm like, yeah, mine definitely has the tequila. You're good.
Yeah, everyone's at a different stage, so it's all good, but they're so great. Their hospitality was awesome.
Yeah.
Their rooms are super like nice and like
Clean,
priced.
all the
They're
amenities.
sustainable. They're literally like 100 feet from the beach. So although it wasn't the best weather, we had a great time. We did a little plunge. We hung out, watched the surfers. There's probably like 100 out there at one point. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, they don't care about what the weather.
No, it was just, what I looked at it as like a souped up St. Andrews, but with like way more active transport and like
cool
other stuff. Yeah, that's open all the time, right? And Hotel Irwin also has the only like rooftop patio in Venice Beach.
Which
so
is incredible, which finally opened one of our last nights there, which was great.
Yeah, that was a miracle. So that was really good. And, we just had such a crazy time. And I think that going to like Observatory, like if you watched our stories or follow us on social, like, it started out with us seeing Glenn McLean at the St. John Airport, which was so funny. And we thought, oh yeah, he's just fixing the espresso machine for Java Moose. And he's like, no, I'm flying out to
California.
Where are you going? California. And it's just, we saw a Moosehead shirt while we were in one of the vintage shops, which is like so niche, you know what I mean?
Universe, man. How
and yeah, like we did so much. Like we went out to dinner. We went to the Beverly Hills Hotel. We saw Wiz Khalifa. We saw like so many.
Food God.
Yeah, we saw so many people. And then Sunday is like really what we were going for. And I don't think I am only now, even today, starting to realize the magnitude of who we were with and what was happening. And I wish that I had even been more in the moment than I was.
Oh, I was in the moment.
And now I'm halfway through the book again. And it's funny because I wanted to read it right away again so that I could kind of figure out, like, I knew when we were like in front of the Aquarius or whatever, like Troubadour, like all these places, like it rang a bell from reading it like 15 years ago or whatever. But I hadn't really put it together. So now reading about it and seeing like where she was at and talking about like the Burrito Brothers and all that, like now I even see more of what that means after being in front of their house and here talking about like being out there. Now what she wrote makes more sense. It's so much more special.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think too, one of the, like there were so many eye-opening things for me, like as you know, and I'm so honored I got to tell Pamela like how much she's influenced me and like her writing, and you know that was in itself I think probably the most important thing to come out of it. Yeah. But I think one of the things that I guess kind of highlighted for me too is going around and seeing, you know, like this is where, you know, Jim Morrison lived, and this is where like Joni Mitchell lived, and like especially like in Jim Morrison's case, as Pamela pointed out on the tour, like he was this big rock god, but he wasn't always looking for a paycheck. You know what I mean? He didn't necessarily care that much, and it kind of humanized him in the way, and like you know,
it humanized the whole thing because we fetishize it, like because we don't touch it, and you know, for us, we're like, oh my God, Laurel Canyon, Mama Cat, like, but there was a lot of sad shit going on. There was a lot of drug use going on. There was a lot of like unknown people just trying to make it. And it's really no different than it is today. It's a lot different. Yes. But you know, I just think it was really interesting to kind of see like, you know, they were just like us walking up and down like Sunset Boulevard, trying to find their way and go to shows and like, you know, see some of the most up and coming bands, right?
Like they were a local, like, you know, when Pamela said, yeah, when I first met, you know, Jim Morrison, they were a local band. Yeah. And it's such a, and of course, you know, this like logically, like, of course, every big band was a local band at one point, but you think like the Doors were a local band, but they were. Yeah. And really cool. So, I mean, I found that to be like really cool now, like rereading it again. And now it's like, holy fuck, we were, you know, and we're outside of the Troubadour, we're outside of the Aquarius. Like we were at these places where these things took place with a person who's actually there in real life, not to change the facts or make them look any weirder or crazier or other than what they were. And I think it's hard to put into words, but like for example, like 10 or so years ago, like I was a lot more into Zappa than I am now. I don't listen to him. You know me, I don't listen to him very often. But 10 years ago or so, like I wore a t-shirt, like I was all about it. I thought like I was very into like bands like a Stratosphere, like very insane, like jazz, weird timing, like really like crazy heavy metal. So anything that was insane to me, and I loved how insane he was, but from a genius perspective, having over 100 albums. But now after meeting Pamela in real life and seeing those pictures again, seeing where they were, seeing how that all happened, knowing their dynamics, seeing how much she really thought of Gail and him. Like it changes how I think about Frank Zappa now. And does that happen to you? Yeah, like it happened to me, like, you know,
like I'm just like, I'm at home being like, oh my God, is everything I know a lot? Cause I feel different about it after the trip.
Well, it's interesting. Cause like, I believe, cause I'm with the band when I was 15, right? Yeah. So I was a classic rock girly, but I wasn't there to Zappa yet. Yeah. And I didn't actually, it was, you know, I'm with the band that made me get into Zappa and, you know, look into who he was and having that perspective of who he was as like, you know, a creative person. Yeah. And, you know, how he, you know, got the GTOs together and, you know,
like his work ethic as a man. Yeah. As a friend, like,
you know, kind of how he could, you know, Pamela said in an interview once, I don't know if she says it in the book, but like how he has this way of like seeing, you know, when you meet someone, he can pull like the greatness out of you, like the creativity out of you. And I thought that was just so cool. And so, having that lens already in listening to Frank's music, especially like the early Mothers albums that were being recorded while this was going on, I think it changed the way I listened to it and really made me appreciate it more.
Yeah. And I think I don't have it exactly, but when I reread it, like I think it was yesterday, when she says like, it really gave me a different perspective when I would go to the cottage, because I realized that you could technically have it all without necessarily selling out. Like you could have tea civilized in the afternoon without being completely fucked up or whatever, and still be able to make like groundbreaking music, be, you know, writing and doing things and really doing something in the world.
Yeah, he was really anti-drug too, and I think a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah, and because he's so, you know, he's easy. So out there. Well, I sometimes feel the same way. Like, I mean, I was never like a big drinker at all, but then probably like 10 years ago or so, like when I was going out for a lot of business events and things like that, like I would have a drink once in a while because it wasn't cool to smoke weed. It wasn't legal to smoke weed places. So, and there wasn't pens and ways that you could be more conspicuous about it. So I would have a cocktail and it would help with my anxiety. And that's usually the main reason why people do it.
Yeah.
And eventually, like, it just came to a point where, now I don't, but I think whenever I'm having a good time or whatever, I think people are going to think that I'm drinking. So I think with him, people think he was so he had to be, doing acid all the time and like, just to be able to get there. But
he wasn't.
And I think that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anyways, just
straight edge baddie.
And anyone who's, like, whether it doesn't matter, but I just think it's interesting how sometimes you can stereotype someone, oh, you must be really fucked up just because you're in a super good mood, like out dancing.
Yeah.
Like
some people are just high on life, guys.
Or they're just having a moment and they're manic.
Either or.
Me at the Glow Festival on the rooftop dancing for like an hour.
That was something.
I was an old rave kid and then I was done.
You were like, I'm going to go home in the jammies.
Yeah.
Go to bed. All right. So what on the Rock Tour? What was your, what was your, favorite stop, or what was a stop that stuck with you the most?
I really, really enjoyed the whiskey, but I had been there before, but not in that sense. I loved recreating the picture, and I'll just show it to anyone who's maybe hasn't seen it yet.
We'll put it up on the screen too. I'm sure it's online.
It's a better picture. That was a really fun like moment, I think, for everyone who like remakes it.
Right.
But yeah, I'll just put it up on the screen. I'm not sure where it's at. But anyways, all that to say, like, that was really fun. But I really enjoyed seeing Zappa's house. I really did. I thought that was really cool. And
seeing the remnants of the log cabin as well, and that it's still just sitting there vacant.
Yeah.
I think that, and Pam said that the Zappa family trust still has the land. And you just see the whole, and you're just like, oh, so much. I don't know. I could just imagine in my mind's eye, like everyone showing up there, right? People wanting to meet Frank and hang out.
Yeah, and you just think of someone who has like, I don't know the last time when we went to the Record Expo, there was a friend of mine who was there, and they had actually, like, I think they stopped counting at like 104 of his albums.
Right. I don't think, there it is. Yeah.
I was like, I know, I'm just looking at the wrong spot. That's the nice thing. We need more books that have more photos throughout them instead of one. Noted. So like we remade this photo, which was really cool. And I think, I think like that's, and I just, going through there together as pals and like being at the Laurel Canyon store and like knowing like people are going through those areas and making some of the music that we fantasize about and like never touch and make, TikToks about and things. Now we've seen it with someone who's living it and still living it. And that's really inspirational.
Yeah.
So that's been really interesting. And then coming back and trying to like apply that to our show and the opportunities that we're trying, like we're going back to Cali, that's for sure.
Back to Cali.
And like really soon. So we'll just tell you that now so that you don't have to guess.
It's out in the universe now, so we have to manifest it, make it happen.
But it's just, these are the things that, we really want to tell stories and connect with people that love music and love talking about it. And it seems that we're really hitting the jackpot on this trip, right?
It was indeed. And great people on that, everyone was so nice, like, and
we had
some new lots of new friends. And
I found out about these while we were in the States too, but I didn't want to bring them in our carry-on, so I got them at Freak Lunchbox.
Oh yeah, so can you explain to our
I don't know, this is our random segment where
we eat shit
that's awful and like it explodes on us or something. Anyways, they're these jelly fruits and they're from like back in the day.
So they're trending on TikTok right now.
Yeah, and apparently you're like, they have a twist, but apparently you're supposed to just like bite it with and then you suck it out apparently. I'm kind of scared.
Me too. Well, at least it can't be worse than my White Claw incident.
I really hope we can go back and show that in slow motion right here.
Oh, shit. Oh, and then like I had the headphones still on, like almost took the whole roadcaster.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to go.
All right. One. Are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's sweet.
That exploded right in my mouth. That's what she said.
Okay, I'll do the rest.
I don't like this. hate this. I'm gonna stop.
Okay,
like
they're really
diabetes.
sweet. Okay, I'll tell you that. Woo!
Get that for the views.
Get that for your kids and only give them one at a time because they are sweet.
Wash that down with a Moosehead Radler. Hashtag
I'm like,
not
were those
sponsored.
liquor? No, I'm just joking. My sobriety.
There you go. It goes down.
I'm like,
What a way to break it.
Now look at my place. Looking like
You have to switch back. Are you looking for another sound?
no, I was looking for D.
D. Oh.
Always looking for D. God, I love him.
For those wondering, my cat is Dylan's doing fine.
Also, for a lucky patron,
Lucky patron.
we have a really interesting fun package coming up. So if you do sign up for the next $50 package, we have some really fun Pamela stuff. We have some other postcards, some other merch coming out.
Yes,
But this is actually really
stationery.
cool. She wore this dress in the Foxy Lady video.
Yes, for
So this is a piece of history. This came directly from her. So
yes.
you'll want to touch it.
Oh, I loved her. Like I got you. You have yours back here. Right here, pointing in the video. Iconic photo of the GTOs with the Alice Cooper group.
Yeah.
Who, the GTOs helped kind of dress and inspired, the early Alice Cooper look, which is rock
Iconic.
trivia.
It's fucking iconic is what it is. And we, I don't know. That trip was so good. The California aspect of it was good. And then, of course, we got back and we bought Soundcheck Doobie Brothers tickets.
There's more money. Yeah, we're just...
It's who we are. Live your passions, follow your dreams. And as the late Mac Miller would say.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, and
No
it's like,
regrets.
want to get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch my movies, right? So that's what you got to do is you got to get floor tickets. We're second row.
Insane.
Second row, and we're doing sound check with the Dubes with Michael McDonald.
be
So
unreal.
that's going to be ridiculous for me. I'm okay. Like if Tara or Sue Keeley are listening to this, I've already told you that I said this the other day, but I'm going to be a Sue Keeley at this concert. Like I might get kicked out because I'm going to be like, do, 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 do. It's going to be bad. Like you're going to be like, okay, Kate, like you should.
I don't know her.
Because I'm just going to be like, do, 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 do,
Like it's this one. It's this one. Sir.
Jesus is just all right with me.
I'm gonna throw the hell down though when they play Blackwater.
I-
I'm gonna like some funky dicks. I'm just gonna.
No, like people are going to be like, who are... It's going to be the Doobies and then us. I'm not even being an asshole right now. I'm just telling you that like I've waited a long ass time to see my boy, Michael McDonald, the Silver Fox, and I cannot wait. I'm going to lose my mind.
We actually found out about the show when we were in California, and you almost
Yeah.
woke me up. You said
I did, yeah. And it's so funny because I looked at my phone the other day and I screenshotted it and it was 6:37 in the morning, like California time. And I was like, oh, wait. And we got up at 7:30 and I told you because I was like, it's taking so long. But I knew that the Doobies had put out a tour in the U.S., but they were only doing Boston. They weren't even doing Toronto. And then I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, you know, because I really would like to see them. Steely Dan obviously isn't touring right now. And without Walter, it kind of sucks. So I was like, shit, like, all right, whatever. But not out of the question. But if I was going to go see anyone, it was going to be Les Claypool in June, right? So I was just like, you know, let's wait and see what happens. And then I saw that come out and they were playing Moncton and I was like, pfft. And I looked up the tickets and I was like, and then I was like, okay. And then I got home and I waited to get the pre-sale code, which was Streets, which is funny.
That's amazing.
And I got the pre-sale code and then I looked just to make sure that it was like the same. And then, yeah, we got sound check tickets. Cause here's my thing. And listen, I get it. We could talk all day about concert ticket prices or this and that. But my thought is if you're going to go and actually buy a flight, hotels, and go see them at like the Beacon Theater, then my thought was spend a little bit more, get the better ticket, have an amazing experience, maybe interview them. We got papped at Craig's, so it's not.
Just saying. Have you found those photos yet? Have you been like?
Oh, I've been searching extensively. I think from the night of, you know who was there like moments before us?
Who?
Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Oh my God, we could have met Lance
And
Bass.
I don't know which one, but one of Mick Jagger's sons was there like 2 hours before us. Maybe he's like more like emo.
Maybe it was James.
Yeah.
I just only know one named James.
But
so
I was like,
don't know.
man, wow.
So here's
And we could have stayed at Craig's. I'm going to leave it at that. But we didn't. We went home.
we went home because we had shit to do. But So I had a theory. So I was telling my friend that we got papped at Craig's.
Yeah.
And she says that, because I was like, we showed up and they started taking photos, and like no one, and like, other people that were not celebrities weren't doing that. So we're kind of like, cool, what the hell? And she's like, well, cool looking chicks, right? Going in, and a lot of the times they'll take photos, and say if you see like Leonardo DiCaprio and they're like a celebrity person in there, and they'll
Known hotties hanging out with Leo.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Put it in the press. Put my name all over it.
We're too old though.
Fun fact. The lady who plays Camilla in Daisy Jones and the Six dated him for 5 years.
Interesting.
Yeah. They just broke up like 6 months ago.
Oh.
Don't ask me why I know these things, but I think I'm autistic, and that's not a slight at any. I'm figuring it out, but literally, I really can contain a lot of weird information.
Well, that's some, I know.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
So she's all like, Bailey, just remember.
Yeah. So people might have thought we were celebrity girlfriends.
Okay.
Which is fine. I'll take that.
Miles Teller was there that night too, which is kind of crazy. The pizza was really good.
Yeah, good.
The sundae was good.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Seuser was very nice.
He's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
We love you so much.
We met the Craig. The hosts were amazing.
I thought you were going to say the hose.
The hoes were amazing.
I was like, Charisse, not on the show. We can't
hose.
edit this out. Are you going to edit this out?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The hoes be laughing.
Hi, we're back. And that didn't happen. And hello.
We were not engaged.
I don't know why I'm holding it like this. I feel sometimes more better about it.
There was no hoeing on any of our parts.
Some of those ho-fits were
we
begging
had
to differ.
We weren't like.
I'm just joking.
We were fly. Like we looked hot.
Absolutely.
No doubt. No fucking doubt. But it wasn't inappropriate.
Feet hurt.
Yeah. I like those shoes though. I'm gonna be wearing those heels.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. We have to.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Trip was insane. I think I think it's really starting to sink in like that it actually happened. So I think you'll probably hear more about it for us. Like
random
as
moments.
as
we're not sick of it on our Instagram yet.
Yeah. And if
Sorry,
you are,
not
unfollow
sorry.
us.
Yeah. Sorry,
I've
not
already
sorry.
said it in the captions. Like
Y'all can, yeah.
Y'all support us for us anyways. So unfollow or not.
Also,
And if you like us. Don't be coy and be checking in. Okay. Thanks.
yeah. Stand in your truth.
Stand in your truth. Either we're buds or we're not. Jesus.
So speaking of buds, one thing I wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to is we got to see a bud.
Oh my
in Los
God.
Angeles. So we former our dear friend and multiple time Strange Grooves guest Peter Rowan.
Put it right here.
He's
looking fly as fuck.
LA looks so good on
In
him.
LA. Holy shit.
Oh.
I hope that he's telling Julia on his column how fly he be looking when he's talking on those columns because damn.
Yes.
Damn Peter Rowan.
He so he lives there I guess like halftime.
Echo Park, yeah.
Echo Park.
Beautiful little place.
The sun was out that day.
We were listening to Sadie. It was just I don't know. The lemon and the orange tree, like the fuck.
And we got to go to a cool vintage store. Shout out to Gimme Danger
Oh my
wearing
God.
one of their shirts.
Yeah,
that was the best. Peter, I think, regretted bringing us in there. We were like, oh God.
We love it here, but we really couldn't pack anything more.
Oh no, Kate had to repack my suitcase because it was already expanded too much, and she had to like.
In hindsight, like what's the problem with putting on another couple shirts or a couple pairs of pants? Like,
oh, but it's so.
I know,
fucking
but it's like,
warm.
you know.
And like if it was like Calgary or something like that, like I'd okay, dress up the layers, it's merch, but like
I'm just saying, for the right thing, I would have done it. I would have gotten that extra cushion on the plane to get an extra couple shirties. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm regretting not trying on some of the leather jackets they had.
Oh yeah, 100%.
go
That's why I'm just like I should have bought some of those like things that I saw that I loved, and then was just like, or like took footage of certain things that I realized I didn't take footage of. But it's fine.
We'll be back.
We'll be back in May, so don't worry about it.
We also, speaking of vintage stores, shout out to our friends that we made at American Rebel.
Yeah.
American Rebel.
Yeah.
Amazing. Also super cool vintage store on Melrose. If you get a chance,
check them out for sure.
Really cool. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to find, like in New Brunswick, you know, finding cool like vintage stuff. That's not...
Save all your money, get a $700 or $800 flight when it's cheap to LA, and literally just go spend $500 and you'll get a capsule wardrobe, nice coats, like a couple pairs of shoes. Like you can really, or if you're a store looking to source some of those items, like
it's all there, man.
It's all there. It like you wonder why you don't see it. It's because a lot of it is like through costuming and things like, and it's
insane.
And it's all, you know, a lot of the stuff. I will say the only thing I wasn't happy about, because I just think it's bullshit, is the t-shirts. The t-shirt game is ridiculous, and it's only going to get crazier. But my thought is this, like if you have something that's in like mint condition and it's like an old Garth Brooks shirt from 1998 and it's literally like perfect, like, okay, great. You want to charge $100 or whatever, like, okay. But when there's literally nothing left to the shirt, and like I was a Bob Seger t-shirt and it was $345.
That's insane.
And there was no boob. It was literally
like
this part of the shirt.
Out.
Yeah. And I'm just like, that's, I don't know. Like, it's not like it was Bob Seger's shirt.
No.
That I would understand. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. No.
Like if it was his tour t-shirt, great, pay $3,000 for it. You know what I mean? Pay $30,000
and I
for
think
it.
there's
Cool.
this fine line too with vintage. Like, you know, people like a vintage feel, like vintage rare, and then there's like destructive.
Yeah, I know like Grateful Dead t-shirts, like some of the like really like, you know, like I understand single stitch, like I get it. I understand. We have a friend who also does like vintage stuff. We have a few friends actually that do it. And here's the thing, like they're not out to try to gouge anybody or trying to screw up the market or anything like that. So they're very fair with their pricing.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm just like, man, there's certain things that I'm just like, you know, like it's just like crap. We know that we got it like Giant Tiger being sold for $80. Like I saw a Travis Tritt t-shirt that was so like wonderfully beautiful, but it's like, I asked him, I was like, oh, do you like, there's like, oh, it's just some rant. Like it was literally $85. And I know Charisse was willing to buy it for me. And here's the thing, like I'm all about, you know, like, but I couldn't justify spending that. You know what I mean? Like in hindsight, like, I'm just like, you know, like I'll find another one. It's fine. But there's some things that I'm like, no, I saw an Alan Jackson shirt, $150. And here's the thing. He's not selling them on his website for that. So I would rather just go get one, and then in 20 years, it'll be vintage.
Precisely.
You know? Unless I can find it for 50 or 60, you know, like, but I think that was one of the things I was a little bit disappointed in, was like just how expensive a lot of the things were. And then Gimme Danger was so well priced.
I know. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like,
I'm very standard.
$70.
Like t-shirts were all like $28. Long sleeves were 28. Like
cool
it was all.
tanks. They kind of reminded me a bit of like Black Market in Toronto.
What I did enjoy is that, like, so say if they had a tank top, they also had a crop top, a long sleeve, a regular t-shirt, and a hoodie version of that same print.
Yeah.
So
and they
it
do
really
like,
gave that variety of like cut and fabric, which was really nice.
Yeah, and Black Market does that too, like with their printing. Like, so it kind of reminded me of that big time, which I love. And like looking at their jackets, I was like, oh, this other jacket, and it's like $80. I'm like, oh,
yeah, like
that's.
And you would think that would be $200 or $345,
yeah.
and it's like no. And so if you are looking, like I would say, save some cash and just go out like to a place like that, because you can find a lot more for your money and have a lot more statement. And there's usually a story behind it, right? So
yeah, I think
we didn't even shop a lot. Like,
no, we did find some. We found some cute stuff, but I'm thinking in hindsight though, when we do go back, it's like save up and pack less. Or check bag or pack less.
Well, we were bringing a roadcaster, so we'd have to check.
We'd have to check. So shopping.
But all that to say, you know, things are, you know, pretty insane with us right now, and we are really excited to be sharing it and hanging out. So
big changes happening.
Yeah.
Lots of cool things in the works.
And we love y'all.
We love you too. And
we hope you enjoyed this episode of the show. And until next week,
keep it strange.
Bye. Peace.